If you're jumping into this video first, please pause now and go watch part one. I broke down why you're inconsistent with everything. The links in the description and actually it's going to be probably over there, somewhere in that area, but it will be in this video on the description. You know, during our time I'm going to be here discussing this next steps. Um, in part one, where I broke down why we're inconsistent with everything, the links, like I said, in the description. Trust me, you need the foundation first. But if you already watched that, welcome back. This is Looking at Tan from the Empowerment Click, and you already did this, so it's going to be a vibe check here. Um, let's keep it going. In part one, I talked about patterns, how being late for lunch or brunch, you know, um, you're probably late for everything else. How a messy room means a messy mind. How starting reveals something, about your follow through. Now, if this doesn't pertain to you, that's great. But if it does, be very transparent and kind of receive this, just as another way, another option to be able to find leverage and what, you want to be able to grow from, and we talk about adapting versus fragmenting. That was in part one too. But noticing the problem isn't always enough, you gotta do something about it. So today, I'm going to break down how, or ways you can fix your inconsistency by using, my four pillars. I love my four pillars. Like four pillars, four pillars. So I'm gonna just briefly go through them because, like I said, in most of the videos I talk about, the pillars are somewhere in it. Not I like to highlight them, but um, let's start with attitude, of course. Attitude, of course. How you talk to yourself about the small stuff is how you talk to yourself about everything. You know, you burnt the toast, what happens? Do you laugh it off or do you spiral out of control? I'm so stupid, I can't do anything right. The harsh voice in your head about the burnt toast is the same voice when you make a real big mistake, when you miss a deadline, when you fall or fail at something that matters. Your attitude doesn't take a break. It's consistent. Here's what to do. Catch yourself when you mess up or something small. Notice what you say. If it's too harsh, stop. Refrain. Talk to yourself like you talk to a friend. Okay, I messed up. It happens. Let me try again. It's simple and powerful, but it's not as easy. So it's something like I said, we're doing consistency. I never want to say that's it. Simple but powerful. No, because it's not. It's consistent. It's how you want to be able to heal from when you have those traumatic outbursts. So talk to yourself and ask, you know, is it too harsh? Stop yourself. Frame. Talk to yourself. Like, you will talk to a friend. Because we know how we are. We'll talk to everybody else about doing something for themselves and how we would want them to grow and blossom. But then when it comes to us, we're our own worst enemy. So let's try to get into the knack of allowing ourselves some grace. Pillar number 2, self-worth. If you accept being treated like an option in one area, you can accept being treated everywhere else the same way. Like I said earlier, your friend cancels on you last minute. Again, you don't say anything because you don't want to be that difficult person. But here's what's really happening. You're teaching yourself that your time doesn't matter. If you accept that from a friend, you accept that from a partner, from a boss, from everybody, or at work, your coworker dumps their task like on you because they know you won't say no. Now you're doing their work and theirs. You're stressed. overwhelmed, but you don't set any boundary for that. That's not being helpful. It's being a doormat. Here's an option. Start holding boundaries in small moments. Friends cancel again, say something. My time matters, you know, because when people are late to stuff or people are constantly late to things, that shows the level of respect they have for you and the event or circle or time that you put into something. And you want to say, if we make plans, keep them or give me real notice. Because here's the thing. Sometimes people know they're not going to go somewhere the moment like, a day or two after, or they're moving up to an event when they realize that they said yes too fast. And it's about just telling people these things. You know, your colleague, those that dump work on you, I can't take that on. I'm at my capacity. You know, it's how we reframe and how we come to them, and when we're feeling something. Because I know sometimes it could be how we approach situations that can spark up a lot of negative energy. And what we don't want is to come at them, with aggression. It can lead to that if it's consistently happens to you. Will it feel uncomfortable? Oh, yes. But people who respect you won't have a problem with your boundaries. Every time you hold a boundary, you're telling yourself that you really matter because you do. you know, um, Pillar number 3, gratitude. If you can't appreciate what you have now, you won't appreciate it when you get more. I know people who complain about everything. And maybe you know them too. Or maybe it's you. The weather, the food, the traffic, the job, the sneakers, you know, hate work, you know, that person over there has on colors that my ex-boyfriend had on. I don't know, yada yada yada. You know, nothing is ever good enough. They think if I had more money, if was happy, if I lived here, if I looked like this. But it's a lie because they never learned to practice gratitude. I know someone who complains about, you know, um, their apartment, their car. For years, flying motorcycle into space for flying motorcycle into space. 2 months later, complaining again about something else. The apartment wasn't the problem, the mindset is. So you gotta look at that and be like, when are you ever gonna find yourself to be satisfied? Hmm. I mean, no apartment. Come on, what are you going through? But pillar number 4, legacy. Every single day is a test. You're building something, and I like to probably say every day is a brick because you're building something whether you realize it or not. Stay with me. Stay with me, please. I want you to stop saying, I'll start next year. I was there. I would be like, okay, I'll start, you know, um, working on myself and my personal life after I finish doing this career part. Because, it's one of the bricks. Stop waiting for the perfect moment because there doesn't exist. It's not there. It's like a perfect moment could be right now, having that delicious slice of pizza or, you know, going on that 3-day vacation. Those are moments that you can perfect and you can have a perfect moment in if that's something you see. But there isn't, they don't exist, you know? I know people who have been getting ready to start something for years now, still haven't even registered the name for a business. You know, that's not preparing, that's procrastinating. And here's what I want for you to do. Every day find 3 things to be grateful for. Small, regular stuff. You woke up, You had some really good cold water. You had an outfit that makes you feel really amazing in. You said good morning and somebody said good morning back to you. Brother Kenya, that's as basic as stuff. Exactly, that's the point. We so focused on like what we don't have, we forget to appreciate what we actually have. When we practice these small changes, I know your mindset will shift. So I'm gonna bring it on home one more time. 'Cause you know what about 4 pillars, guys. Attitude, stop being harsh to yourself. Talk to yourself like a friend. Self-worth, hold boundaries in small moments because you actually matter. Gratitude, find 3 things to appreciate. Legacy, stop waiting, start today. Legacy is not about when you're gone. It's about every day you step it up, you get up, step into those rooms. That's your legacy. All right, guys, this is an empowerment click, Um, um, and that's it for today. I definitely said if you haven't watched part 1 of the video, I'm gonna link it, here as well. I'm gonna have it in the description for you to look at the first one. Um, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Tell a friend. I'm building a community here. Drop a comment. What pillar are you working on first? But other than that, guys, it's a vibe check. Peace.